Hello and good morning. I have no idea if you can hear it, but the cleaners are here and the vacuum is going on in the background. So hopefully it's not coming through in the video because I've got the door shut. I can hear it, but it's kind of a low background humming, so hopefully the camera's not picking it up. So there's that. And if you do hear it, I apologize, but I wanted to do this. I haven't had a chance to sit down and just put on my makeup and have a bit of a chat in a while. And it's something that I've been wanting to do because there were a few things that I wanted to talk about. So I'm going to just put on my makeup and talk about just stuff in general. The first thing I'm going to do is prime. I am going to use my Kind Collective Blur Perfection Primer. I actually quite like this primer. I pulled it out of my stash. I'm going to keep using it and see how I go. Okay, so I wanted to just chat because I have discovered that I like just doing my makeup and maybe even doing my skincare and having a chat. And by the way, my skin is very unhappy with me right now because I've been sick for quite a while, unwell for quite a while, and I just haven't been as diligent with my skincare as I should have been. So there's that. But the skincare was all on, the sunscreen is all on, so that was just primer. And I'm looking very puffy. Sort of, just not cute. So there's that. Anyway, and I still have a bit of a cough going on. So the first thing I wanted to talk about was why I started this channel in the first place. And I kind of feel like I've gone away from it a bit, and I want to kind of pull myself back because I don't want to be chasing trends. I don't want to be chasing what's popular. I know that, in all the videos that I have watched in the past, that I'm going to use my Chanel BB cream. No, CC cream. It's very nice, by the way. That, they say find a niche, follow your niche, and then if you want to grow your channel, then you have to have a niche, etc., and be very focused and targeted in what you do. And originally, when I decided to start this channel, I was doing it because I wanted a place to record stories of my life that I would one day forget. Because, I have stories, and I know, from talking to other relatives of things that have happened to grandparents and, aunts and uncles and, relatives several times removed that, they get lost and they get forgotten. And I don't want to do that. I don't have any children. I don't have anybody to actually leave this to, but I'm doing this for me because one day I am going to be older than I already am. And I'm going to forget and not remember a lot of the things that have happened in the past. Like, how Hubby and I met. And all the silly things and all the stories we tell, and even the things that I grew up with my mom saying to me and teaching me, and the things that make me who I am and Hubby who he is, and things like that. And the stories that make up our lives. And let's face it, I work in publishing. Like, stories is my life. And I work with stories every day. My clients write stories, I write stories, and we do everything we can to, get them published and things like that. So, that's what we do. And that's why I started it. And it was going to be vlogs and, you know, things about, you know, when we travel and stuff like that. And I need to pull myself back and remember that that's why I'm doing this. And I'm doing this for me and my family and, you know, makeup and skincare stuff for my mom and my sister and my friends and things like that. And if along the way, some people like my content and they watch it, wonderful. Thank you. I really appreciate it. But if not, you know, that's okay too, because that's not why I'm doing this. And I think I need to remember why I'm doing this. I'm not trying to be an influencer. I'm not trying to, look, you know, if at some point I make money or whatever, yay, hooray. But I do have a day job and mostly the focus is there. Sorry, gonna grab a paper napkin. You know, so I have work to, you know, pay the bills, stuff like that. And, you know, this is not going to be my job. And I don't think it will ever become my job, because I just want this to be fun. And I just want for it to continue to be fun. And so that's kind of where I'm at in terms of, you know, why I'm doing what I'm doing. It's just my Coty Airspun powder. You know, and I want to remember that, and I want to be able to tell my stories so that I don't forget them one day. And, you know, if Echo gets to hear them along the way, hooray. But, you know, it's the stuff that, like, whenever we're at a dinner party and we meet some new friends, and, you know, one of the conversations, because, you know, hubby and I are a mixed couple, is, how did you meet? And you know, it's a normal dinner party, get to know you kind of a topic conversation. We have it frequently with other friends and new people that we meet and things like that. So that's kind of one of the things that, you know, I want to capture. How did we meet? What is our life like? All that sort of stuff. You know, the things that make us who we are. And that's important to me. And I want to stay true to that. So that's kind of my very long-winded way of saying that, you know, while I know that my perfume videos do really well and it's part of my life and it's my journey and it's a hobby of mine, and, you know, hopefully my nose is going to improve to the point where I can get back to spraying perfume again. I would love to be able to do that and continue to do that, because I still love my perfume and I still do all the perfumey things. So, you know, that's kind of one of those things that I'm doing. This is ginger tea, by the way. So, you know, I'm gonna still do all the things and the perfume things and the makeup things, but I find that the most fun that I have, you know, if I'm being honest, is when I just sit down and talk to the camera. And I talk to the camera for a couple of reasons. You know, I mentioned why, one of them. And the other, and I think I've talked about this before, is with menopause, brain fog is real. And brain fog is no joke. And one of the things about brain fog is that I lose my words and I lose my train of thought. And this is one of my ways to cope with and deal with the fact that sometimes my words don't come out when I'm trying to talk or speak. And this is how I practice, or I want to practice, you know, continue being able to articulate my thoughts, because when I have meetings with clients and I'm on a video call with clients, you know, and look, I'm not terribly shy about being on video and on camera, because, you know, I've had 20 something years of consulting where I've had to talk in front of large groups of people and clients and things like that. So, you know, that's not an issue, but having words now is an issue. And I'm trying to hang on to that and practice as much as I can. So that's one of the things. And I'm sure you've heard me, if you've watched me for any length of time, let's be real, it's probably only echo. Eyebrow gel. It's just, you know, me working on that and making sure that I can continue to be able to speak and not completely lose my words, because y'all, brain fog is real. Anyway, so there's that. And so we're talking about stories, and I mentioned that I'm not an influencer. I'm not trying to be an influencer, but if I influence you along the way, okay. And I'm not trendy, okay? I fully admit that I have never really been a trendy person. And there are things that come and go in trends that, you know, I see something I like, I think it might work on me, and I go with it. But, you know, but I'm not like, oh, you know, that's this trend. Mind you, I do have a photograph of me at age 16 or 17 with that big Madonna 1980s hair bow from her, is it like a Virgin Days? Yeah. Cool. I thought I was cute back then, but I was 16, so what do I know? And I was a child of the 80s. Where am I at? Eyeshadow. So, anyway, we were out in the shops, hubby and I, and we're walking towards the stores, and there's a couple walking towards us. You know, the guy's a fairly irregular looking guy. The girl was pretty cute. But she had like bright red blush, you know, and hubby looks at her and says, you know, after all these years with me, hubby's gotten pretty good at remembering, or actually not remembering, but noticing makeup on people. And hubby goes, some people wear very strange makeup. And I'm like, oh, she's being very trendy. He goes, what do you mean? And I'm like, well, you know, that's that strawberry blush trend. So I am, you know, I'm aware of the trends because I watch a lot of YouTube. I probably would be even more aware if I watched the Clock app, but, you know, the Clock app and I are not friends. So we won't go there. That was eyeshadow primer, by the way. So yeah, so we were, you know, and hubby goes, what do you mean strawberry blush trend? And I said, well, yeah, I said Sabrina Carpenter, but I Googled it, and it's not Sabrina Carpenter. It's actually Hailey Bieber, apparently. But that's that strawberry blush trend where, you know, it's like very bright pink or, you know, red right across the tops of the cheeks like that. And he goes, oh, that's trendy. This is hubby, you know. I don't think it's trendy or whatever it was. He said something or other, and he goes, well, that goes to show I didn't know that was a trend, and I'm not, you know, trendy. He made a joke about the fact that he's not a trendy guy, and I know, honey, I know you're not a trendy guy, but I love you anyway. But yeah, so you know, we see, this is my train of thought going a bit. I'm pulling out my Naked 2 palette because it's old. This is my Naked palette. Anybody who's been on the internet knows that it's back. This is the original one. I haven't got rid of it. I like it, but it's a little warm for me. So I'm gonna use my Naked 2 palette, which I have always liked a little bit more. I will let you know if I react to it. Hopefully not. Fingers crossed. But anyway, hubby goes, oh yeah, well that goes to show how not trendy I am. I have no idea what that is. So, yes. The strawberry blush trend. I mean, it was cute, but it was a lot of blush, and it was like bright red right there. But hey, you know, I noticed a trend, but it was a funny conversation. At least I thought it was funny. And I was saying to my friend Steph later when we were chatting during the day, I mentioned it to her, and she goes, isn't that called draping? And I go, yeah, I think so. In the 80s, you know, it was draping. And she goes, oh, I still do that, but I blend it out. And I'm like, no. It has to be red blush, like bright red. Or did you miss that part? And she goes, oh, yeah, I did miss that part. But yes, it's the strawberry blush trend because it looks like strawberry. And no, I am not going to do a strawberry blush today. I think I'm gonna, because I'm wearing blue, I think I'm going to, oh, I am using the color Suspect right there. And I'm just doing my usual one shadow look where I whack it all across my lid. I like this formula. I mean, it looks, you know, it's very pigmented. It looks nice. I'm slowly building it up though. I'm not applying much. But, so yes, neither hubby nor I are trendy. But we do try to, you know, be relatively well dressed and put together. And I can't get over how puffy my face looks. It's driving me crazy. Absolutely crazy. Anyway, so we're not trendy, but I do know what a strawberry blush trend is, and no, I'm not gonna do it. But it's cute though on the right person. And of course, hubby has to have the last one. He goes, some of these trends are very weird. It's true, some trends are very weird. I actually think my eyebrows are not on trend. I have no idea what the eyebrow trend is right now, but, you know, it's taken me absolutely forever to grow my eyebrows to this point where it looks kind of full because, you know, I used to have pretty sparse eyebrows. And so, yeah, I'm happy with the eyebrow situation right now. So I'm gonna kind of keep it that way and mess with it. You know what's really funny is, you know, I do my eyebrows and I look at it now and think, okay, yeah, the eyebrows are good. And then I get in the car and there is something about the car mirror. I get in the car and I look at my eyebrows in the car. I'm going to use that very first shade just to blend out the edges of my eyeshadow. It's called Foxy. I don't actually know if the Naked 2 is discontinued or it's still available. I think the Naked 3 is still available from Urban Decay. I'll have to look it up. But yeah, but my eyebrows, for some reason, I always end up with a unfilled patch right there and under there. Oh, and I need to cover up that little bit of a random tail with some concealer. Let's do that, shall we? Concealer, concealer, concealer. Let's use some Tarte Shape Tape. And Let's find a teeny tiny little brush. What I do is I just put it on there and I kind of just let it sit and dry before I blend so that it lasts a little longer. Anyway, yes, so where was I? I was talking about something. Yes, the Naked 2 palette. Yeah, so that's, you know, talking about trends. Everything old is new again. That just happens. And so the Naked 2 is, the original Naked is back. I'm not going to get it because I already have way too much eyeshadow. And I think if I am going to buy a new eyeshadow palette, I want the Natasha Denona I Need a Nude palette. That's what I want at some point. But not at the moment. So that was that. Simple, but that's normal for me. I think I am going to use my brown Mecca eyeshadow stick and do and do eyeliner with it today. We're going out to the pub for lunch. Hubby wanted to give me a break from cooking, and so we're heading out to our local pub for lunch. And the local pub has changed hands recently. A couple of young men have bought the pub because the original, well, the previous owner has retired after owning the pub for over 20 something years. And I think the menu has changed. So I'm looking forward to that. And they've repainted the outside. So it used to sort of look very country, rustic. Now it's blue and white. So we'll have to go and see it in person, but I saw photos from their Facebook page. So I am going to continue with the eyeshadow, and I'm going to use this burgundy one and just do a little bit smudge a little bit under the eyes, which seems to work quite well. And I quite like the way it looks. It just seems to open up my eyes and elongate it a little bit, and that works. Ooh. And don't poke yourself in the eyeball, Deanna. Oh gosh. I'm almost done too anyway. There's not much left. I'm not doing any contouring, and I'm not doing anything particularly fancy. So that's eyeshadow, eyeliner, and then what's that stuff called? Blush on the cheeks, and that's it. I'm calling it a day. And I need to get out of here because the cleaner's waiting to actually come in and vacuum in here and clean in here. And I'm taking my own sweet time. A lot of the videos that I film, I kind of like it to, I like to do it because it's not part of my day job, and because it's not always part of my, you know, it's not time I set aside to do stuff. I like to sort of do the whole two birds, one stone thing and get ready and do this at the same time. It takes me a little bit longer because I'm talking and doing stuff, you know, unless I'm doing like a specific video. But I prefer to do it this way so that it's part of my routine and I'm doing something and not having to do this especially. And it works for me. So those were the sort of things I wanted to cover, just to, you know, broadly talk about why I am, you know, filming what I'm filming and things like that. And And I know this, it might not appeal to a lot of people. I'm grabbing my Laura Geller blush. This is the Pink Valentine and French Vanilla Balance and Brighten blush. And I really like it. It's one of my favorite pink blushes. Anyway, so I wanted to really just, and here is me, you know, being an 80s child and draping my blush. But I do, if you've watched any of my blush videos, you'll know that I do blend this out so I don't look like a crazy person with like a giant, I'm not into the very, very obvious pink blob of blush on my cheek. But yeah, so I like this to be a part of my routine. And I do this while I'm, you know, getting ready. There's no contour and no bronzer today because I'm not really going anywhere other than the pub for lunch and picking up some groceries. And I'm not, no, I don't even have to pick up groceries because we did that yesterday. Yeah, so this is it. Look at that highlight though. Isn't that gorgeous? I have no idea where I got this from because it's so old. But I'll be sad if I run out of it because it's domed and look, it's getting pretty flat. I'm being a little enthusiastic here. Don't worry, I will blend it out. My Guerlain meteorites, you've seen this a gajillion times. Yeah, so that's pretty much it. I do have some of these tubey things that I absolutely hate. I admit I really, really, really do not like them. So this is me doing my blendy technique. So that I don't look like a crazy person at the end of it. And yes, when I'm looking puffy like this, a little bit of contour does help, but it can't be asked. It's a very Australian term. Maybe a very British term, can't be asked. It basically means we can't be bothered. And I was gonna sort of like do a little mini declutter thing. And yeah, I will here. I have a Lake Rain Beauty blush thing. That's kind of a, I'm going to say Charlotte Tilbury Pillow Talk dupe. This is an MCO Beauty one. I just called Blush Glow. Look, the colors are beautiful, okay? I give them that. But the formula is just absolute rubbish. That's a peachy one, which is right up my street. Kind of a shimmery, another different shimmery pinky one. And I think this is a highlighter. But yes, the formula is absolute rubbish. And that's the highlighter. And I hate it. And I've tried and I've tried and I've tried. And no matter what I try, I just never like it. So it's going. And then I've got this thing from Mecca, which was a gift. And I can see why they're giving it away because it's called the Off-Duty Glass Stick. And it's really, literally, it's just a gloss shine. I don't know if you can see it there. And it's basically just wet. And I guess you could, you know, tap it on and apply it to high points. But if I want glow, I'd rather do something like this than use this because it's wet and it never sets and it stays wet. And I don't want wet on my face. So anyway, those are being decluttered. I'll see if a girlfriend of mine wants them for her daughters, but if not, since I can't donate used makeup, I'm just gonna chuck them in the bin. Some of these were gifts, and some of them I bought them on sale, and they were like 50% off, so I'm not gonna get too upset about it, but yeah. Right, so I'm done. I've blathered on enough. It's 30 minutes. Everyday Pink. And yes, I still do not know how to talk and apply lipstick at the same time. Alrighty, I am done. I'll take the hair down. It needs a brush. But here I go. I'm looking very puffy. I am not happy about that puffy life, but I'll have to do something about that. I am actually honestly doing something about that. I've got some, appointments with some specialists and things like that we're dealing with, but this, I am not happy with this whole looking very puffy thing. But yeah, I'm dealing with it. I'm hopefully slowly getting better, and I will see you next time. Thank you for watching. Bye-bye.